A satisfying year, Ken.
Very satisfying. I thought we started quite well the first two games in the opening rounds, and then we faltered, got ourselves into a hole, but we've kind of dug ourselves out of that quickly, and along the way we played some wonderful football and scored some cracking goals and entertained the crowd, and totally very proud of the players and the way they've gone about the business.
Ken, do you think you should have been officially presented with the trophy today?
Possibly, but it doesn't matter, we're champions, and that's the most important thing as far as we're concerned. It'll be done probably after the Lawney City game, the last game of the season, but we're champions now very early. I think we're 12 points ahead of the nearest rival, so it's pretty immense from our point of view.
Would have been nice in front of your supporters.
I would have thought so. When you win it on the day at your home venue, it's special.
It's been a couple of years without a state league title for you. Is this one extra special?
I think so, but because you go through phases, you go through building the club, building the young players, bringing them through, and we started well, beating Olympia over there, and then we met Zebras and he touched us up. But after that, the game against Lawney City in the cup and Devonport away, we kind of got ourselves together, and I think we've now gone 11 games without a loss. It's been pretty special. But more importantly for me, it's been the manner in which we played the game. We haven't been in many scrappy games. We've generally gone out and played good football, and some of the wing play and overlap and runs from Adam Gorey first half today was absolutely super. And I think if we'd gone in 6 or 7 at half time, nobody would have complained.
Ken, how do they determine whether you're home or away with the Queensland champions?
Already been drawn by all accounts over the states, and I think Victoria travelled to Perth, for example, and we play the champions of Queensland.
Here?
Oh,
that's what I meant.
I think
do they determine
I think
home
now
and
it
away?
goes into the hat, into the draw,
Okay.
and it's been done.
So you're at home?
We're at home to them early September.
Okay.
Yeah, and at the minute it's Gold Coast.
Gold Coast,
But
yeah.
Brisbane Strikers are pretty close.
Kenny, you constructed a side, if you keep the squad together, they could be dominant over the next 3 to 4 years, really, couldn't they?
Yeah, but we've got to keep them together. That is a problem for us, because a lot of our players are well and truly scouted by the mainland teams, but we'll try. We brought players back to do that, to try and build a squad. We don't just want to be in the first rounds of the FFA Cup or the NPL. We want to win them. We went very close against Sydney 58ers a couple of years ago, and I think this side's capable of doing well.
Ken, you're noted for rebuilding teams that have been successful. Are you already looking at players that are available?
Well, we're looking to strengthen in certain areas, no doubt about that. Like this year's been a really hard fight for us up front, because Albie's been out long term with a long-term injury. He's got only a little niggly hamstring at the minute, which will have him back for the playoffs. And Benny's been in and out with injury and sickness. So we've had a job on trying to fill that central role. Same with Pajari. We had high hopes of him, but again he injuries and struggled a little bit in the middle of the season. But now he's come good again. So there are certain areas where we need maybe just to improve, but generally speaking, the squad has good depth. Liam Scott obviously is doing a great job in the reserves for us, and he's building his fitness up as well. So I just think we're in a strong position.
You must be proud of Nick, because this was the sort of game where you had to score first. He scored twice and settled the nerves, and you went on from there.
Yeah, I think he's had a brilliant season for us. I don't normally praise him very much, but I thought today was probably our best player. He was exceptional, controlled midfield, scored the vital goals, and was involved in a lot of the build-up. And also he does the dirty work as well, which you have to do. So very pleased for them. But there's quality in there. Be it Loic, be it Kobe Kemp in there. Jack Turner, all of them are strong midfielders who give us a lot of fight and a lot of spirit.
And Ken, you got a 3-year deal now, multi-million dollar, they say.
Yeah, but it's not bad. I'm quite impressed. I've got 3 years and with 2-year options. So health stays good. I'll be happy to stay around because it's a fabulous football club and we have a great committee who work hard with us to take the game forward.
You've won a lot of league titles at South Hobart. Where does this squad rank amongst them?
Well, I think it's special and I think it's getting better. I really do think it's going to go on and be a really good side for a number of years if we can keep them together. And just lifting my head there and so last year, and we lost Charlie Wilkes before kicking the ball at the start of the year, and he was our number 6 at the start of the season. So that early form we were in, and then we struck the injuries, we've certainly been able to pick it up and do well. So I'm very proud of the players.
A league record 12th consecutive victories today as well.
Yeah, super. Yeah.
So Ken, will you be scouting Gold Coast?
We've had a guy down here, Nick Taylor, who works at Southport. He's been doing a bit of coaching and he's joined our coaching staff next year, so we've already got a good dossier on them. We just have to decide whether we'll go up next week or the week after, just to have a little look ourselves. They play in the FFA Cup this week, so we'll definitely get some footage from that. And we've already seen some footage of them. They're a big, strong, powerful side. The strikers from Rushton and Diamonds, and yeah, they're not bad.
Will you be watching the FFA Cup game live on Tuesday?
No, we're training. We have no option. It's our training night, and we'll put it to the players, and they all said they wanted to train.
All right, Brody, what did you make of your team's performance today?
First half was very lacklustre and not really in the groove. I think, well, I know there's a little bit of intimidation out there when you play against South Hobart, and for those lads out there that performed today, there was a fair bit of that in the first half. They did completely the opposite of what our tasks were. But, mate, credit where credit's due. Our back line was all day was underneath the cosh, and our goalkeeper, sensational. You know, some of those stops there, I don't know how many of them he done. And Matty, as you know, as a goalkeeper, mate, when you're under that sort of amount of constructive firepower, to be able to keep that score to that score at the moment, mate, is superb. And goalkeeper of the year, mate, it has to be the amount of times that he's been put under that pressure week in, week out. So,
Were you happy with the team, the way the rest of the team played after half-time?
After half-time, they were competitive. We sit back and we addressed that they weren't playing on their first touch. They were giving them too much space. I think considering the situation that the club was in and it's rounding up for this year at the moment, it has been a topsy-turvy year for them and for the players as well. And you know, it's very hard for players mentally, but I think they were underdone as far as their knowledge, their delivery of education and knowledge prior to, and that shows out there when you're playing against teams like that. That's a seasonal outfit, and that's a credit to the way that they have preparation. And it shows that when you're chasing shadows like we did in the first half, sooner or later you're going to get to an environment where you're just breaking between lines and you're chasing, and that's exactly what the first half's about. Second half was a lot better.
Mark, why did you call your players over after a goal?
Oh, because I was frustrated. I was frustrated to see that the things that we'd spoken about pre-game, that they weren't doing, and I expect a certain level of performance, and I expect a certain level of attitude and understanding and dedication out of players. And yeah, I know that we've got a couple of lads in there, well, a few lads in there that are probably not up to this level at the moment, but I still expect a good understanding prior to them going out there, and there were not an understanding of the level that I expect, especially playing at this level. But after the second half, they asked me a few of the certain questions. I suppose as a coach you've got to identify a few things, and when you identify them and you explain to them what they need to do to correct them, instead of just giving them a bollock, which I suppose some environments do receive, it's not the matter of that. It's just making sure they get a really good understanding, so it doesn't if it happens again, that they can actually deal with it. And I think, to be honest, they went out the second half. They're a quality outfit, Walter. They really are, and I suppose with a good bit of preparation, some good, better players involved to allow it the maturity. It's no use drinking wine straight out of the barrel when it hasn't matured. You might as well let it mature and enjoy it. That's what some of those lads out there need. But the experience is great for them.
At one point you identified Gorry as a weak point and told them to get onto him. Were you joking?
I was joking, Walter. Sometimes I like to get into people's heads, from the sideline. One thing that lacks these days is players' mentalities to be able to get inside other opposition's heads. And I don't know, Jaden Hayes felt it in the past, and
But wouldn't that have fired Gorry up? 'Cause
no.
he heard it.
Yes, I know he heard it, but
He made 2 goals.
But he was already on fire. He was already on fire. The way that guy moves in an overlapping situation is fantastic, and I can understand why he was targeted by Kenny, because he really fits that mould really well for what he's trying to get out of his side, and he's trying to get that overloading in the forward third, and he gets that with Gorry. He's a quality outfit. There's a lot of them out there who are really good quality, but if you lack the mental understanding of what it plays at this level, I suppose, as long as I'm not verbally attacking anybody, which is not my nature, I will drop hints that they might have cracks in their game and they're heavy on their first touch, and if that shakes them off and makes them think twice about their next touch, great. I've done my job as a coach, as long as I can restructure my players to take advantage of that after the time.
Big game next week, Brody.
Huge game, Matty, and that's why I rested a few players today. Yeah, we've been working up. We're in a position where season's not over and done with for us. It's a long road with the military players you got, mate. It's a long road. That's why I rested players today. I wasn't prepared to put my full strength out there to try and salvage some humility. We did all right out there. It was a good experience for the young lads again to see what they need to put on at pre-season. So players will come back in next week and try and bridge that gap up now. I think Lonnie City, they won yesterday, didn't they? Yeah, well now hopefully we'll construct a little bit of a game plan and try and target Clarence next week, and I'll learn to keep my mouth shut from the sideline next week, so I won't be making any comments that can be heard by the cameras. But Clarence will be a team that we will be targeting next week, bringing our players back, bolstering up and probably resting some of the players that are challenge players, and probably some under the 18s, like young Johnny Jones out there, who come on for the last 10 minutes, 15. James Wakefield, 15, and I go on about every week, but I get really proud of these boys. Connor Bastock out there, who played at 9, he gains 15. I got really proud to see that these lads are not just gaining experience by seeing the players they play against at that level, that they are really good quality level. I enjoy watching them. But to see them out there enjoying that atmosphere and trying to be competitive, it only gives them a little bit of a real good experience to be able to bring something at pre-season and other games like Clarence that they can start putting into. But yeah, big game next week. Matty, to answer your question, Pal? Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, bro.